Let's start. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next Talks About Nothing. And I have here a great guest, Omar. Hello, Omar. How are you?
I'm great, Michael. Good to have you. Good to have me on your program. I enjoy talking to you.
I have all the time, I'm running this in a Czech language, and all the time I'm asking the visitor, why have you accepted to talk about nothing? This is not usual invitation.
It's an interesting topic. When I think about nothing, I always think about the show Seinfeld. I'm not sure if you guys had that there,
I
but it was a
know.
show about nothing. And when you're thinking about that, anything can happen, any imagination. So I love the topic. When I saw it earlier today, I was like, wow, okay, I gotta do this.
That's great because I know Seinfeld quite well. So because it was one of my favorite, and it was even here in my country. But what was interesting that last year I think I found an article called Seinfeld and Industry 5.0, and I was
Oh,
thinking, what? So I check it, and you know what? It was written by ChatGPT. It was
wow.
generated article, and I read it. There was, of course, nothing. It was about Seinfeld and Elaine and all the other guys, but there was
Yeah.
nothing about Industry 5.0. So I started to talk with ChatGPT, and it was quite interesting. I said, "Thank you for taking your time to write about Industry 5.0. I am the founder," and the immediate reply was, "You are not." So I said, I am, because, and we have a discussion. I make an article out of it. And at the end, it was the great because uh, every answer was more and more delayed by the ChatGPT. And at the end, she said, or ChatGPT says, you are not human.
Wow. Really?
Yes,
That's funny. That's
that's
crazy.
really funny. That's really, really funny.
Trying to think, how would ChatGPT know that? What would like the key words that would trigger that you're not a human? Wow.
I don't know because I was talking to ChatGPT like as a human. I don't make a difference. So I was polite. I was explaining. I was sending links and explanations. But at the time, I was not recognized as being the founder. The interesting part about 14 days ago and yesterday again, artificial intelligence acknowledge for the first time that I'm really the founder of Industry 5.0. It never happened before. So, and it was
Wow.
an official statement, and which is great. So I am really
Amazing.
happy, and it will change a lot of things. But let me ask you, because I like in the talks about nothing, I like questions. The first question to you: do you like more questions or the answers?
I like questions, yes.
And do you like more empty paper or the paper which is already filled with whatever?
Film paper, I would say, yeah. It makes
Okay.
it more interesting.
Uh, I check on your profile that you speak three languages: English, Arabic, and Bosnian.
Yes. Not
Uh,
fluent, but I know kind of can understand it. Yeah.
um, but does it have something to do with your heritage or with the history, or was it just your passion to learn the language?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So my grandparents are Balkan, so from that region. And so I grew up hearing those words, but then my parents actually, my grandparents moved to the Middle East where my parents were raised, and there was different generations of people, and so they picked up Arabic as well. So we grew up speaking both languages and mixing up with both cultures. So it's very fascinating.
And right now, you are in Arizona in the US. I am in the middle of Europe in Pilsen, which is about 5,800 miles or 9,000 kilometers away. And we are speaking
Exactly.
to, to each other one day after the Christmas day here in Czech Republic. So we are speaking on 25th of December. And my question, because of your heritage, do you celebrate Christmas or do you celebrate three-time Christmas?
Actually, I today is the 25th, and this morning is the Christmas. And no, I don't celebrate Christmas because I'm not a Christian. And but I do celebrate it as a holiday in terms of getting together, getting with family, playing games, board games, having good meals, and it's a good way to take a break from work, right? And Americans, we are very hardcore workers. Like everybody, I work for a corporate company, 8 to 5, very busy, and so to have a day in the middle of the week off, it's like marvelous. You can go ahead and you can do whatever you want, take a time to mentally take a break, ride a bike, see the family member, see a friend. This is perfect time. Plus, I was editing for my show, the quiz show that I do this morning.
Uh, you know what is interesting? That I was born in Czechoslovakia. At that time, Czechoslovak Socialist Republic, so communist country. And generally, religions has been, let's say, forbidden in my country. So there are not few, but comparing to the other standards, we are not religious. But still, we celebrate Christmas. And we celebrate it on 24th as the
Oh
day.
wow.
Yeah. So we started at the day standard. Then the lunch generally should be without meat, because only so we will see, as we say, golden pig, which should bring a luck and money. In the evening, the dinner is carb and potato salad. And after the
Wow.
dinner, we unpack the Christmas presents. And this is how
Oh
it
wow.
works here. But
Interesting.
very few really. We are 10 million people here in the country, but I'm not religious myself, but I was born on 24th of December, you know. So you are the first one who speak to me as a 53-year young guy. And even my t-shirt, I get it yesterday. So
It's funny. So let me ask you a question. Why did they do it on the 24th of December in the Czech? And is that all of Europe or is it just
uh,
particularly there? That's interesting fact there.
majority in Europe does it this way. The explanation is that generally on 24th should Jesus be born. This is the explanation which I get. So I was
Uh-huh.
born the same day as Jesus, just 1,971 years later.
Interesting because there are some European, like in the Balkans, they celebrated January 7th or 8th, especially the Orthodox, somewhere at that at 9 or 7, which I have no idea why they see that's you have another there. We have the 24th, we have the 25th, we have the 7th. And it's an interesting fact, And but if you think about it, if he was really born in the winter time and with all the sheep and outside, that would be cold. So it doesn't really make sense that he would be born in the winter time, more in like the summer or springtime for all the sheep and all that to be and the major. You know what I mean?
You know, it is really interesting. On the other hand, he should be born in a region where should be no snow, or according to my knowledge, or a little snow. But on
Yeah.
every picture, you see snow there.
Yeah,
So I am not sure about him.
exactly.
To be honest, I was unsure when I was 33. I was unsure whether this is the end of my life, because at the end of 33, he died. And
Uh-huh.
it was so strange feeling. But right now I'm 20 years older than him, and I feel great, like the first day, you know. And when I've been asked if I bought something as a present to anyone, I said I don't need to. I am the present myself.
That's true. That's beautiful. Yes, and that's a good point because we all are our beautiful gift to humanity, that kind of thing. So whatever you have, and gift giving is good, but also, it depends, whenever you give it, I'm not a giver myself, but we ourselves are the gift to humanity. That's what I
Uh,
believe too.
I think that generally Christmas, so as Easter, so as many other holidays, has been hijacked by I call them giants generally, who need to sell more,
Yes.
whatever. Uh, and this is why I am not happy about the way how it turns. In the past, we did it exactly as you describe it. We hang together, we play games, we sing songs, and so on. And it was done this way. There has been few presents. Today, it must be many presents, no singing, no hanging together. If hanging together with the mobile, of course, in the hand. So the unity and it's it generally disappear. And I hope we will find it back. It must be not the 24th. It can be whatever. It should be every day. Every day should be this day because every day we should enjoy the possibility to talk, to think, to be together, not to hate each other, not to fight each other, but really to be together. And that's the way I think.
No, I agree with you, definitely. I mean, we're social people. We need to get to know each other. And you do such a wonderful platform here. I wanted to definitely join, and as I promised. And we need to know more people and hang out. So these holiday days that we're off from work, we need to spend them more with people, not isolation. We need to be with people, not on our mobile devices, because mobile devices, and I've started a habit where just putting my phone in an empty place. So mentally, I don't go to that in the morning, and so that's a good habit I'm trying to do, or do start a bike ride in the morning, or do a run, something that's gonna take you away, and maybe 2 hours later after waking up, doing that thing, go back to your mobile device, but try to limit your time. But I think during COVID times, that made us more want to be on those devices.
On the other hand, when I was 48, so which is 5, 6 years ago, I I realized I get addicted to my smartphone because there was an update of the Android which has this user time calculation, which says how many time you spend on LinkedIn and other applications. But there was one interesting chart which says how many times I unlock the screen.
Oh wow.
367 times a day.
Wow.
And I said to me, Michael, you are addicted. So, and I went to my cupboard and I take something out of the cupboard, which turn later to be the Vice phone. The other is smartphone. I will show you the Vice phone.
Oh wow.
This is
Nokia.
Nokia 631i. This is the only mobile phone in a mobile phone history, not a single one repeated. It was for 3 years the best business mobile phone in the world. 3 years in a
Wow.
row. No other did it. And I said, okay, it was for 20 years in a box. And I said, if I will be able to turn it on, I will use it for 3 months. I turn it on after 20 years in a box. It has 80% battery. Something
Wow.
which is today
After
unbelievable.
20 years? 20 years. 80%. Wow. Amazing.
So and I start to use it. Of course, there are limitations. No camera, and I need camera for my work.
Yeah.
Only 99 contacts. I have in the smartphone 3,600 contacts. So I for calling and SMS, I use only the Nokia. And the other was a database and photograph. But that's all. What was interesting, the Nokia helped me to get rid of the addiction within 1 month time. Do you know what I realized what make us addicted to a smartphone? I was very surprised. I did not know. Do you know what it makes you addicted when you have it in your hand? Why you unlock it all the time? When you look at the smartwatch and so on.
I would say because there's some interest in our brain that triggers it, like smoking or drinking or stuff like that. But I don't know what that exactly is. Tell me.
Generally, notifications. The
Notifications. Ah,
notifications turn the adrenaline in your blood to take it out and look at the screen. even if there is just nothing. And generally, every app can notify you three ways: voice, vibration, and sometimes light. So if you would like to switch them off, of course, you can go in a flight mode, but you do not want to go in a flight mode because you need to be reachable. So you have to switch on every single app, and I have 167 apps at a time. You have to switch it manually. So it takes some time.
Ah,
But the interesting part, at the moment when I get addicted, there is a chart, like a pie chart. And I spend my time, 87% of this time I was on the smartphone. Today, I am
oh wow.
3%. 3%.
Oh, amazing. I need
So
that app thing. I want to go ahead, but I had a thing that I was going to say. There's a app that I added, which is a lock app. Basically, you can put like uh money. So if you want to unlock it, so I raised it up to like $100. So I don't have to. If I need to pay to unlock it, and but I do it usually at 8 at night until like 7 in the morning, kind of thing. And then but I'm trying to figure out how I can lock the computer. But then I need it for my work because I get a code to log into my tech job that I do. I get a code in the morning, so I don't technically need it for work, but I need the code to come on my phone to be able to do it. It uses this particular phone ping app thing that comes on there every 30 seconds. You have to log in, especially if you clock in or clock out. So that's the
that's interesting. That's interesting. But really, this switching off notifications help to reduce
yeah.
significantly the way of using or the way how the smartphone use us, because
Yeah.
it's not us using the smartphone at the time. Uh, do you know when the term a robot was introduced?
Robot, I think in the 50s, I'm guessing. 50s or earlier.
1921.
21. Okay.
1921 by Czech author called Karel Čapek. And generally, it's a very interesting book. It's a screenplay originally. So, and
Oh, wow.
I will send you after the call, I will send you British
Please.
BBC make to celebrate the 100 years of the term robot, make a great radio play. And it's really, I recommend everyone to listen. 2 hours.
Actually, you know what? You should record clues for my game show quiz about that. That would be interesting when we do that. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I will be happy. I will be happy. And it is interesting because, already in the first book where the term robot was introduced, the author was warning against addiction on robots and robotics and everything. And it is so interesting to listen to his word today because we are in some way addicted already. GPS navigations. When I was starting to drive, it was 1990. There was no GPS, of course. And I was used to use a paper map if I was somewhere where I don't know at the location. But since I started to use GPS, I'm not able to return back to the paper map because it will be very hard for me
Oh
to.
yeah, no, that's a big topic, and I'm thinking about doing a show about that because addictions, especially with the smoking, for example, because we want happiness, and so our brains are used to seeing a notification or th- this trigger. And so when we're using that, oh, I got a notification, something. And I've noticed that from a friend or something like that who I don't really need something from them. And then they would come back and just message because it's a habit and they need some kind of a trigger for their brain to be, oh, I need that. And so I'm learning slowly myself to not to figure those trigger. I recently uninstalled Instagram. Instagram was a big killer in terms of me being be able to be addicted. I just one day just turned it off and that's it. So like I didn't want to go back. If you go back, because I found it as worthless, right? I'm still on Facebook and LinkedIn for business and promoting shows like this wonderful show. It's always that's good. That's good benefits, good addictions. Because you have good addictions and you have bad addictions. Now with the phones, there's a way to control it, like lock it or put it away. and use it when needed. But the problem is like you and me, we have a lot of contacts and we have all these people. I get like maybe 10, 15 messages a day from people all over the world. Maybe you get more than me. You're more of a popular guy. But yeah, that's a big problem for sure. Hopefully, in the next year, we can figure out things, me and you, or the humanity, to help them out with how to limit their time and be more enjoying outside, exercise more, enjoy the nature, the lakes, the sky, and rather than the screen, especially the youth, kids. I have a nephew he'll be 2 in May. He cries if the TV's off. Like that's he needs that, unfortunately.
There is a lot of very interesting Czech sayings, and one of them says, "Fire, it's a great servant, but a very bad master." And if you turn it to technology, AI, whatever, it's exactly what's happening. If it will be, the mobile phones, the goggles, all this stuff, it does not serve us anymore. We are serving the technology. We are handing over our data. Elon Musk, a few months ago, he requested, no, it was not a few months ago, it was after the election in the US. He said, let's put your medical data on Twitter. Why should I? We are being told that when we get a Visa card or whatever, we should be the only one who know the PIN number. But at the moment when you put it for the first time in a whatever cashier machine or whatever, and you type the PIN, it's not your PIN anymore. It's already in the system. So it's so different. And I think that this is why I like your show, because it brings back the human aspect of what we are doing. And I do exactly that for 11 years with Industry 5.0, because, you know, the great about humanity and being human is that it is inside of us. It is here. We don't need to buy it. We don't need to whatever. We just need to find it out. And if we find out, then we will not need the TV to be happy. We will not need the smartphone. We will use it as a tool, and that's fine. There are many tools which are great, but if we let the tools use us as tools, that's the danger.
Exactly. So I think the problem is loneliness and also working in terms of being alone, isolated, and not being able to be with people more. So I'm seeing myself too like that. If I'm with people, I'm less and less on technology, or not just that, just be busy. Be busy with outdoor activities. Do a schedule. Like for example, get up early at 7 or 6 a.m. even, and then for the first hour, read a book or go out and exercise. I know it might be cold around this time of period, but start out by reading a book when the sun comes up and warms up a bit. And in Arizona, yesterday was like 15 or 14 is Celsius high. That's warm for you guys. So I was
We
able to
have
ride a bike.
zero. We,
I can believe that. We're gonna get zero in January, close to zero at night, here. But it does get cold, maybe in the 10 in the daytime. But yeah, yeah. So read a book. After it gets warmer, go to the gym. They have a lot of indoor gyms, stuff like that to limit yourself. You gotta stay busy, be with people, socialize, coffee, all that, tea shops. And so when I was in Europe 2 months ago. uh, I found that the environment was a lot different. Went to visit my grandparents' lands and all that. And it's amazing. You see people at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock having coffee breaks and dinner outside there. It's all packed with people compared to America, where you go out to a Starbucks, it might be empty. You get for like five, six people. It's not as booked. People are shopping, doing other things on their devices, walking their dog while they're on their phone. How can you walk your dog while you're on your phone? I don't get it.
next question for you. Are you multitasker?
I can be. It's difficult. It's hard, but it depends on the task. You're talking about. So I would say, maybe, most likely no.
Uh, for me, I was multitasker even before the term was invented, because even when I was in a school, I need to read a book, listen to radio, and then I can learn. That was, I need more outputs to concentrate on one. But when I get closer to 40, I generally realize I'm not so good in the multitasking. I'm more tired after that. So I was looking for a solution, and I find it. No, sorry, I didn't find it. I have to develop it. So this is the standard way how I do things. If I do not find the answer, I will create it. And the reason why I was asking is, you know what is the biggest disadvantage of multitasking?
I would say your mind is distracted on this or this, and you make a lot of mistakes because in my job, I'm in an Excel or I'm to listen to this student that I'm training or listen to that person, and your mind sometimes can wander off and make mistakes easily.
And you already mentioned it before. You generally, uh, if even if you fulfill one of the tasks, your brain says, "Don't celebrate. There is another one waiting, or another 100 waiting for you." So you generally never get this satisfaction, like if there is a victory in a running somewhere, you are the winner. You never get it in multitasking. And I realized that. So I found and thought about, okay, so if this is what make me tired, I need to change the style. And I developed something which I call the core task management. And I generally, the task, I make them so small that you can make them immediately. One task for this call was just to set up the Zoom call. It was not to send it to you. It was not to do, just to set it up in a Zoom, which is a 1 minute task. And that was a task. After that, I make a post somewhere and then send it up to you. Because if you make one task and then you put another task in between, then this task make you the winner. So you get a recharge. And with the second one, you get recharge. And then the next one. And I am recharging myself. I am 53. I work usually 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I do it for 11 years. And I am being recharged myself. So, and this is exactly as you said, you cut out the Instagram. I use it as well, but I use most of the platforms as a creator. I post it there. I generally almost never just look and scroll on the screen like TikTokers, and no, I don't do it. I make a picture if it's nice. I put it on my Instagram, Facebook, and so on. I am creator, and I think this is one of the differences which people have to learn, not to be just the consumer, but to change to creator. And of course, there are many limits, and for something is Instagram better, for something is Facebook, and so on. But if you are a creator, you just create a slightly different topic. And then it is the tool which you use, which helps you, but it does not misuse you.
Exactly. No, no, absolutely. That's the truth. The problem could be also you are checking the likes, every minute, every hour. Did I get a like? Did I get a like? That's the problem that I've seen. It's like you post it, you can be a creator, but that's another addiction there. So that's why I wanted to get off that because I've been getting a lot, and especially a lot of fake of this person or this person or this, and you're getting all these follows on there who aren't really genuine. But LinkedIn seemed to be more genuine people from what I saw, my
Uh,
experience.
you will find even this other type of people there. On the other hand, I stop watching likes and dislike. Generally, I stop watching numbers at all. I don't care because for me, I like numbers, but a very special way. I like the visual aspect of a number. I don't care what is the value. The value of Industry 5.0 reached in 2023 over 1 quadrillion US dollars. This is a number with 18 zeros. There is, even if you put all industries together, they do not reach this number. Why? It's simple. Every industry is wasting. So if you take the share of them and put them together, you get the number. So it's quite easy. But but I don't care about it. You know, numbers.
Yeah.
I like how they look like. So 2024, and it's nice number, or 2022, or a number which you can read the same way, this direction and this direction. But I stopped completely looking at the likes and dislikes and whatever. It has no it has no value for me. Even the number of people who will watch this on YouTube is not important for me. You know.
Good, good. Awesome. Appreciate you having me on the program. Very, very interesting talk. This is something that's much needed and it can go on more and more, definitely. But
I
yeah,
have one more question for you because we have only 4 minutes left, and the question
yeah.
is, how did you came to the idea to make a quiz show?
A good idea. Good question. Definitely. I've always loved hosting and I've always loved trivia and I love knowledge and education. I'm an engineer. My mom's in education and she used to teach, and I taught for a little bit and tutored. So I thought of how can I do a fun way do it where people can get educated and learn. And so we have the program called Jeopardy and other game shows I've been a fan of. And I said this might be an opportunity to do it through Zoom. And I started during COVID times, right? Everybody was at home. I invited some friends here and there, and they all liked the idea from people from Mexico or from Dubai and I invited them. I did one show in the beginning. It was like a pilot. I didn't know if it's gonna work out. Then I decided to do more, and then I invited kids, and people enjoyed it. Now I have 5 seasons, over 50 episodes of that. And actually, in 2 minutes, the next episode is about to air now. Right now, we had somebody from England, somebody from Las Vegas, and another person from the Ukraine, actually, who's actually living there, who's actually from the network through LinkedIn. So and then we do a live show. So it's fun interaction. You get to learn stuff. You get to meet people from all over, and that I just love trivia and helping people them get educated, especially with the kids. When I have kids from all over, it's just fascinating seeing what they know. They know more than adults sometimes. It's fun. So, yeah.
Uh, exactly this type of fun I have when I invite someone to talk about nothing. You know, because the difference is that the people cannot prepare. Same for your quiz. They cannot prepare because they don't know which question they will come. But
Right.
it is exactly that. And I have to say, I don't know what is on your business card. If you have a business card, because many don't have a business card at all,
I do. Actually, I do. I have a card. I just created one like a month ago, and yeah. So
which is great because from today on, you can put a new title on it. You are so-called ONICHEMOS, which is, I will write it down after, which is from Czech language, is the someone who was in a talk about nothing. And it's
I like
ONICHEMOS.
that.
And it is not only a name or a title. I would like
Yeah.
to establish so-called Profusion Academy. And Profusion Academy should be there for everyone who would like to learn and teach at the same time. Not like teacher and student, no, in this
Same
direction,
level. Yeah.
to
Uh-huh.
share exactly what you do in the quiz show. And I hope to have you there, and I hope to see you soon again in the Talks About Nothing, so as in the Wasteless War Talks. But for now on, we have only 1 minute left. Let me wish you have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free, and dear viewers, please be human, like Omar just presented. We can be anywhere in the world.
Fabulous show. Fabulous. Exactly. And I also have another podcast called Do We Really Know Them? People from my game show. I interview them. Stay tuned for that as well. Have a good one. Thank you, Michael. Bye bye.
Bye bye.